Hello my friends, touching on again with MacGillivray month in July. I'm going to continue our talk here about a gentleman from Australia, MacGillivray, in the 1850s, 60s, and beyond. All right, James McIntosh MacGillivray. This is an article by Peter MacGillivray in the 2004 Clanhattan Association Journal. Become a member. I hope they bring this back. I'm sure they would like to and may plan to. The Touchdown magazine is in force right now as well. Thank you. Right, so this gentleman we review a little bit. He was born in Oban, Scotland in 1851, and his family moved to Australia. He became an excellent horseman, crack rifle shot, award-winning at shooting contests. So he joined up with a local squadron of mounted rifles. All right, we're in Australia. He had the honor of being selected as a member of the celebrations in London for Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee as well. In 1899, this is the Boer War period, folks. There's two of those Boer Wars. In 1899, when the war broke out in South Africa, James immediately volunteered despite his age of 48 years. In the first contingent, he arrived in Cape Town, November the 1st. His youngest child at that time, who was to become Margaret Riquier's mother, celebrated her first birthday while he was in transit. We will not go into all the reported details of his service life, but from statements made by officers and men who knew him, it's clear that James was a born soldier. Hardy, healthy, and brave, with typical Celtic dash and recklessness. This guy's my hero already. What a MacGillivray. Touch not this cat. Being such a good shot and a fine horseman made him ideal for the type of warfare then engaged in, to fight the Boers. When facing the enemy, he was the last man to leave the fight, showing extreme coolness under fire, and at times he had to be ordered from the field. This guy was a good shot. He wanted to get in his last few licks before they pulled him off. I'm not condoning killing anyone, but this was his life. In December the 1900, the 1st South Africa contingent completed their tour of duty and returned home. By 1901 February, James MacGillivray, now 50 years old, had been accepted for a second tour of duty with the rank of Regimental Sergeant Major and was once again off to South Africa. I'm just looking around for deer or something like that, folks. Or the birds are beautiful sounding out here. I don't know if you can hear them. On the 14th July, he wrote home to a friend saying he had just been notified by his commanding officer he would receive a commission during the following week. He also commented on the frustrating tactics of the Boers in allowing their women and children to be captured. I have an article in Davidson Month about the Boer Wars, a little bit more, I should say, a segment on the Touch Not channel. Thus, the Boers allowing their women and children to be captured, thus hampering the Imperial troops and aiding the Boer men to escape. Little did he realize at the time this very tactic would lead to his own death a few days later. On the 21st July, he was taking part in an action against a party of the enemy when a Cape cart with 3 women aboard pulled up in a dry gully. James, believing they had surrendered, rode past them in pursuit of a mounted pair of men. One of the women on the cart, a girl of 17 years, shot him in the back, and he died instantly. One of the ironies of this incident was the fact that James himself always refused to shoot an escaping Boer in the back, instead shooting over his head to warn him. James was buried with full military honors at a place called Oliphant's Vlei, and a photograph of the grave was sent to his widow. The girl who shot him was acquitted of murder for want of evidence, no one having seen her fire that fatal shot. On 25th July 1901, Sophia received a telegram from the Premier of South Africa advising her of the death of her husband at Van Collins Fontaine. This was not the only telegram of its kind that this courageous woman was to receive. Their son James was killed on Gallipoli in 1915. To conclude this story, it's great to know that some descendants of this family still live in the Mount Gambier district and take pride in their ancestry, even if none now carries the name MacGillivray. We also note that a part of the family land was given to the Coonawarra Vigenerons for the construction of a small airstrip, now being named MacGillivray Airstrip. Furthermore, we have learned that a portion of the original MacGillivray property, although separated from Mayope Park by some 20 miles, adjoined Moy Hall, an estate originally established by a William McIntosh. See Clanhatton, Volume 7, Number 6, 1982 of this journal. An appropriate note on which to end this heroic tale. Well, thank you, my friends. I hope you enjoyed that little tale during MacGillivray Month on the Touch Not channel and the Clanhatton Association channel. So this was a story all about James McIntosh MacGillivray. And this is part 2. I'm just ending it now, and there is a part 1, so look for that, please. All right. Touch not this cat.